What is up, everyone? So, this is kind of like a mixture of me not wanting to work on that quite yet, but and wanting to just do something. So I had a couple stainless steel bolts, and I probably had like 3 or 4 packets. I don't know where they came from. I was cleaning the garage and I found them, and had some nuts. The bolts were the same size, they're 1/2 inch, and I found something on Facebook or internet, I don't remember where exactly it was, but basically making flowers out of nuts and bolts. Why I'm using stainless is because when you TIG weld stainless and you have adequate gas, or the right amount of gas I should say, you get a really nice colorful effect. Now if you put the right amount, I guess technically you don't really get color, but if you get the right amount of gas to get color, you get color, if that makes any sense. I don't really know it myself, but some type of oxide. So went to the store, got like a $8 pack of like 20 same size nuts. I had a couple left over, and those are going to be leaves on the side, but gives me an opportunity to test out my new cup. I believe that's a 10. I don't think it's quite a 12, but I think a 12 would be a little overkill for this project. I'm going to call this the Brown Thumb Flowers. You can do these, put them on the desk, your living room, who knows. And these are going to be very small, so you know they'll never die, and hopefully they'll have some color and look nice. The thing that's not going to have color is the base. I'm trying to do this without having to buy like random pieces. So I have this square tubing, I cut it down a little bit. Where I mount the second or the 1 or 2 of the bolts on the side, it's going to hit the end here. It's not going to allow it to go through, because as it stands right now, that is basically the same height as the bolt. It will make sense when I actually put it on there, but they're going to be free floating. I'm not going to weld them on there because I don't want to. I want to paint that and just have it be black or blue or green. I don't know, probably black. Then on the sides, I'm going to weld these little rods just so, or like that, just for a little stability, as well as, you know, look a little nicer. So I'm going to put you in the stand. We are going to, so here's the problem. This is what I'm going to run into. I'm going to tack, hopefully, probably should help if I show you, tack each one of these just so it stays in place, and then do one tack to the actual bolt so it all stays in place. I'm going to do that for each one of these, and then I'm going to flip it over, put it through the hole in the table, and then that will hopefully allow me to, you know, do some hopefully decent beads. I don't know if I want to do this on pulse. I don't think so. I might try it. Nah. So what I'm running is the 3/32 tungsten. Argon is going to be around 22 CFH. Probably going to start off, I'm going to set the machine to 120, but I have the button and I probably won't be pressing it all the way down until I'm probably doing closer to, there's 5 settings on this I believe, so probably setting number 4. So what is that? That's probably like 100 amps, and then if I need a little extra heat, I will you know, just press down on it. I should have got extras to kind of test it out, but I completely forgot. I was in a hurry when I was in the store anyway. So the test I'm hoping will be when I tack it, because you're really not going to see a whole lot on the bottom. So that's where that is. So let me put you in the stand and we'll get going. So I got everything wiped down. Everything has been thoroughly cleaned with acetone. I took a stainless steel brand new wire wheel and wire wheel the bolt body a little bit. as well as the top. I put it on the grinder and then I wire wheeled it clean. The main reason for that was just because it had numbers on there. I just wanted this to be a flat surface for each. These bolts also have numbers, but I'm putting those on the bottoms, which is gonna, well, the top for right now, but bottom when you flip it over. So I kind of question if I even want to do these types of videos because I'm not a welder. I'm just going to put that out there. Not a welder. But I do believe that TIG welding is a very useful skill to have for small engines. It does aluminum. Yes, I understand there are MIG machines out there that do aluminum just as fine, just as good as the, this can. I understand that. I just like it better because it has very little sparkage, if any, if you do it right, and it's easier, it's quiet, there's no smoke. So when working in a small engine garage, I mean small, this seems like a better setup to me. So I'm gonna do a couple of these depending on how well they go over. I don't know if I'll continue to do them, but this is me not wanting to work and just wanting to get something done, and I enjoy doing this. So we can get the machine ready. Let's go. So this is DC. I'm not doing AC because it's not aluminum. Okay. The filler metal is a ER308L. That's basically the only filler metal I have for this style of welding. So, and it's 3/32. I kind of wish I had it in 1/16, but I don't. So we're just gonna have to make do. Definitely a lot harder. See what it looks like. There's definitely some colorage going on there. So I think I'm gonna turn these so I can get this backside. Like I said, I'm not a welder, so I completely forgot I probably shouldn't have been leaving up or lifting up the torch as fast as I have. But, you know, what happens, happens. I didn't actually tack that one to the bolt, but I think the contracting metal is just kind of putting enough pressure on it to keep it in place for the most part. That was horrible. I actually might turn the gas down a little bit, because it seems like I'm getting a lot of the what you would want, not so much of the colors or the blue that I want. Like if you went to, like, you know, welding, I'm assuming food grade or whatever, it's like kind of like that goldy color. But yet again, that's just what I read. I have no idea. In fact, let's test it. What you definitely don't want is like that really nasty gray. Well, at least I don't want that. I don't know. You might have your own preferences. So what did we learn? We learned that, well, something that I've learned when making a holiday star, the filler metal for stainless wets significantly better than just plain steel. So that's good. I definitely like the coloring I'm getting now in comparison to what I did before. So I'm going to leave my argon at that. It's probably like around 18, 17. So I'm going to flip this over and do that. I think I might off camera just try to tack them the bolt on just to make sure it doesn't slip out when I put it through the hole. That way we don't have a potential accidente going on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so obviously I don't have the right lens for this, but let's zoom in a little bit. Now, I just want to say again, I'm not a welder, so if this turns out to look like, you know, a Helen Keller did it, then beware. Same settings, nothing's changed. I think what I want to do is do the lines on the outside first, and then at the end I'll go ahead through the middle and just go all the way around. I hope. Not horrible. I think, however, the situation has changed. I'm going to put a little bit more gas. Like the gas is just going through the actual nut. So, I'm not getting the colors I want, unfortunately, but that's probably just due to inexperience. I mean, there's some color, don't get me wrong, but I am getting, like, sometimes, like, they're just not getting the color. I'm either getting, like, the good gas coverage, like the color I don't want, or I'm getting the bad gas coverage, the color I do not want as well. And very little of the actual blues or anything I'm actually wanting to see. So I'm going to put on Pulse and see if that has anything to do with it. I doubt it, but I just want to try Pulse. Mainly for me trying to learn how to properly do Pulse. that one was a lot better. Definitely a little more color. I think just for the fun of it, I might just go over the other one with more pulse and just see if I can't clean it up a little bit. That's just going to be really boring. I'm not going to show that, so I'm just going to bring it back. So for this next part, I'm going to be, I just put a nut on the bottom where I kind of want them. I made each one a little different because they're flowers. And you can, I'll show you later, but you could tell where the gas and the metal, like through the threads on the outside, was actually getting hot and starting to oxidize. So there's actually some really nice color on the outside, a little bit on the inside. I did go over it. It looks a lot better. So not exactly what I wanted, but it's not too bad. I'm satisfied. If I was going to do this again, I would maybe know a little bit more of the settings I need. So I'm just going to put a tack on each side, or maybe just one. Yeah, probably each side, just to make it a little more uniform. And then turn around, do the other side, and then we'll do the base next after that. I don't know why that's so awkward, but it is. do the same thing for the other leaf. Okay, let's go ahead and try this. Same settings, everything, except the only problem is this tubing is our square tubing is a lot thinner than a rod, so I'm going to go at a pretty aggressive angle to kind of melt the metal on the rod, or the circular rod instead. Still using the same filler metal. Maybe you don't have to. You can use it from what I've read, so I just don't want to have to clean another piece of filler metal and then have a piece randomly just sitting there. That's tacked. Make sure these are lined up. There's more blue in that than there is on the flower. That's kind of weird. I guess it's a filler metal, so that would make more sense. But I'm going to I think I might just do the whole bead, but that's just going to be a little bit of me just sitting around and doing that, so I'll bring it back once I'm done. Okay, so it's all done. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not good. But I'm gonna spray paint that black. I might trim down the sides a little bit on those rods, and it might be a little bit too long, but those flowers are definitely a little bit longer. But let's look at the flowers. See the color on them? Probably not show up very well on camera. They're still really hot. There's that one. I think they're pretty respectable. I really like this one. The color is just not coming up on the camera, but that one is probably my favorite, even though the welding is probably the worst. And last, but hopefully not least. Okay, maybe it is least. It's like a second. It does have some, that's good. Put some nice little dimes on there. Not the greatest, but they're on there. So I'm going to let all of this cool, because it's probably like 1,000,000 degrees. At least if I touch it with my bare hands, it will feel like that. Let it cool, paint, put it together, and we'll see the final project. Okay, and here it is. Everything's painted. I don't know what this is. Looks pretty good. I wish the color was showing up a little bit better, but I'm pretty happy with it. The hardest part is just putting the flowers in there just so it looks good, but other than that, that's about it. So, you know, putting aside my questionable welding techniques, which I'm sure I have, I'm not going to argue that one bit. I think it did pretty good. I like it. The only thing I forgot is I do see a few numbers on these, but whatever, it's fine. next time I'll be more careful on that. But other than that, yep, I'm happy with it. I have no idea how much this cost. I think I spent like $8 on the nuts. I had the bolts. I'm sure if you bought the bolts, those probably aren't the most inexpensive bolts because they were stainless, but I would say this is probably under $20, especially if you already have the bottom piece, or you don't, not even gonna build or one, or if you just want to put like in a normal vase or a cup, or you know, a cup that says "Congratulations, Mom" or whatever. I don't know, but yep. So here we go. I'm gonna sign off. If you like what you see, keep on watching. If this goes over well, maybe I will do more little projects like this, but if it doesn't, well, we'll just continue on with our normal stuff. Okay, I will see you later. Subscribe, put a comment below. I'll catch you on the next one. Good night.